July 4th had always meant something special to me. Not just because of the fireworks or the patriotic songs, but because it used to be the one day every year where my little family came together, no matter what. Since Emily was a girl, I made it a tradition: red, white, and blue streamers on the porch, grilled hot dogs, peach pie from scratch, and the soft hum of firecrackers in the distance. Now that she was married with children of her own, I knew things would change, but I never thought I'd be erased. It started innocently enough. 1 week before the holiday, I called Emily just to check in. "Hey, sweetie," I said. "Any plans for the 4th?" I could hear the chaos in the background, her 2 kids arguing, a dog barking, the clatter of dishes. She sounded distracted. "Yeah," she said. "Just doing something small. A backyard BBQ with a few people." I smiled, imagining her bustling around like I used to. "That sounds lovely. I was thinking maybe I could come." "Bring the pie you love." There was a pause. A short one, but it stung. Yeah, sure, Mom, if you want," she said quickly. "It's nothing big though." I held onto the sure like a lifeline. I didn't need a red carpet. I just wanted to see my daughter, her children, my grandchildren. I wanted to feel included. Part of the world I helped build, so I spent the next few days getting everything ready. I baked the peach pie exactly how she liked it, with a sugared lattice crust and extra cinnamon. I packed sparklers for the kids, a hand-knit scarf in patriotic colors for Emily, and even a little flag pin I found at an antique store. Something told me she'd like it. Traveling wasn't easy. I'm not young anymore, and a cross-state trip meant 2 buses and a long train ride, but I didn't mind. I imagined the look on her face when she opened the door. I imagined the kids shouting, "Grandma," and wrapping their arms around me. I arrived around 3 in the afternoon. The sun was blazing, the sky clear and full of promise. Her street was alive, neighbors setting up chairs, children running with flags, music drifting from open doors. I turned the corner and saw her house, decorated just like old times. My heart fluttered as I walked up the driveway. With my suitcase and pie in hand, I heard laughter in the backyard. Emily's laugh, the children's giggles, someone flipping something on the grill. The kind of laughter that warms the soul. I rang the bell. A few seconds passed. Then Emily opened the door. At first, she looked confused, then surprised, but not in the way I had hoped. "Mom?" she said, blinking. "Surprise." I held out the pie. "I brought your favorite." She didn't reach for it. Instead, her expression shifted, like someone caught off guard and slightly annoyed. What are you doing here?" I blinked. "You said I could come. I brought everything you love. I even brought the scarf I finished last week, remember? The one you said would be cute for summer." She glanced over her shoulder, then stepped outside and pulled the door halfway closed behind her. "Mom, I didn't think you'd actually come." I felt my stomach twist. "But you said." "I didn't mean it like that," she said quickly. "It's just, this was meant to be a small thing. Just Mark's family. His mom is staying with us and it's already crowded." I stared at her. "But I'm your mother." "I know. This wasn't the plan. I didn't prepare for you. There's no space." I swallowed hard. "I can stay in a motel if it's about the room. I don't need anything. Just wanted to spend the day with you," she sighed, folding her arms. "You always do this, Mom. You show up when it's not convenient and expect everything to revolve around you." Her words cut deeper than she knew. "I'm not trying to be in the way," I said softly. "I just miss you. Miss the kids. I thought this could be our thing, like it used to be." She looked away. "This isn't about the past anymore. Things are different now." I nodded slowly. I felt the pie in my hands starting to tremble slightly from the weight of my arms, or maybe it was just my heart. "Okay," I whispered. "I understand. Maybe next time just call first." "Okay," she added, trying to soften her voice. "I'm sorry, Mom." And with that, she slipped back inside. Closing the door gently, I stood there on the porch, blinking against the afternoon sun. Behind the closed door, the sound of laughter resumed. Music played, the kids squealed at something in the yard, but I wasn't a part of it. I walked back down the steps, my suitcase clattering behind me. I didn't even know where to go. I just kept walking. There was a small park a few blocks down. I found a bench and sat with the pie still in my lap. The scarf was folded neatly on top of my suitcase. I watched families pass, kids wave flags, couples holding hands and taking selfies under streamers, and I felt invisible. I wanted to cry, but instead I just stared at the sky. Wondering how a day that once meant togetherness could feel so isolating, I reached into my bag and pulled out a napkin. I scribbled a few lines with the pen I kept in my purse. Maybe I wasn't invited, but I came anyway because I thought I still mattered. Then I walked back to her porch and left the pie, the scarf, the sparklers, and the note on the steps. I didn't ring the bell this time. I just turned and walked away. Fireworks cracked in the distance as I reached the end of the street. People were gathering in yards, clapping and laughing. The sky was beginning to darken, setting the stage for color and wonder. But for me, there were no fireworks, just the quiet ache of absence. The morning after the fireworks faded, Emily stood at the kitchen sink, slowly rinsing plates that had piled up from the backyard barbecue. The house was quiet except for the ticking wall clock and the occasional thump of her kids. Waking upstairs, her husband Mark had already left for a run. Her mother-in-law Julia was still asleep in the guest room. The whole house felt still, but Emily's chest buzzed with unease. She should have felt proud. The food had been perfect, the decorations cheerful, and the evening went off without a hitch. But something felt ... wrong. No, not something, someone. "Why didn't you come, Mom?" she whispered into the sink, even though no one was there to answer. She dried her hands and stepped out onto the front porch to pick up the morning paper. And there, resting gently on the wooden step, was the pie container. It was empty, but beside it was the scarf she knew her mom had been knitting for weeks, red, white, and blue. Soft yarn, perfectly stitched, still neatly folded and tucked into the folds. A napkin, her fingers trembled as she opened it. Greater than maybe I wasn't invited, but I came anyway because I thought I still mattered. The words hit her like a punch to the chest. She sat on the porch step, stunned, the note fluttering in her lap like a forgotten firework. She remembered the look on her mom's face yesterday, the way her hands shook slightly as she held that pie, the way she'd smiled, hopeful, despite being turned away, and she'd shut the door. I shut the door on my mother suddenly. The sound of little feet running down the stairs pulled her back. Her daughter Lily came bounding out with messy curls and a sparkler stick in her hand. "Mommy, did Grandma leave already?" she asked. Emily froze. "What do you mean, sweetie? I saw Grandma yesterday outside the window. I thought she was staying with us too. Why didn't she come to fireworks?" Before Emily could answer, her son Josh appeared beside his sister, rubbing his eyes. "She brought pie, right? Did we eat it all already?" Emily's heart cracked wide open. I don't know," she said softly, holding back tears. Then Julia stepped out onto the porch, tying her robe. She noticed the scarf and note on Emily's lap and let out a soft sigh. "She really did come," Julia said. Emily nodded slowly. "I thought maybe you imagined it," Julia added, "but she must have left those last night. I found them here early this morning and moved them aside so no one would step on them." Emily wiped at her eyes. "I told her she wasn't invited." Julia sat down beside her. "I know, I heard you, and I tried to stay out of your family, but Emily, she's your mother, and she came all this way to be with you." "I didn't think she'd take it so personally," Emily whispered. Julia tilted her head. "Of course she did. She's not just your mom, she's a woman who gave up so much to raise you alone. She came because she thought she still mattered." "I thought she understood," Emily said weakly. "It was just supposed to be small, casual." Julia placed a gentle hand on her shoulder. "You don't have to throw a big party to make your mother feel seen. Sometimes just letting her in the door is enough." Emily stared out at the empty lawn. "I need to find her," she said. She called. The phone rang and rang, then straight to voicemail. She texted nothing. She called her mom's neighbors, her aunt, even a few friends from church, but no one had seen or heard from her since yesterday. Emily got in the car with the scarf and the pie dish, driving through town with no clear direction, just a rising wave of guilt guiding her. And then she remembered something years ago. When Emily was a teenager, she'd had a huge fight with her mom over curfews or grades or something, now too small to matter. She'd stormed off and come back to find her mom sitting alone in a quiet park near the ferry docks, watching the water with tired eyes. Emily always remembered that park as her mom's cooling off spot. She turned the car and drove straight. There, it was almost noon when she pulled into the tiny gravel parking lot. A few joggers passed and a man was fishing lazily at the edge of the dock. But there, sitting alone on the bench under a willow tree, was her mother. Emily's breath caught. She hadn't changed clothes, same shoes, her suitcase at her side. She sat silently, staring out at the shimmering water like it was the only thing in the world she trusted. Emily approached slowly. "Mom," she said softly. Her mother didn't turn. I got your note," Emily added, her voice trembling now. Her mother turned her head. Her face was calm, but her eyes, those warm, familiar eyes, were tired, wounded. "You found the pie?" she said quietly. Emily nodded, tears already pooling. "And the scarf? And your words?" There was a long pause. "I didn't want to embarrass you in front of your guests," her mother said, voice even. "That's why I left quietly." "You didn't embarrass me," Emily whispered. "I embarrassed myself." Her mother looked away. "I came because I thought you'd still want me there," she added softly. "I brought what I could. I wasn't trying to take up space." Emily sat down beside her on the bench. You were never taking up space. Mom, you're the reason. I even know how to celebrate holidays. You're the reason I ever felt safe. Her voice cracked. I wanted everything to look perfect for Mark, for his parents, for the neighborhood. And in trying to do that, I made the person who mattered most feel invisible. Silence. I didn't mean to, Emily added, wiping her eyes. I really didn't. Her mother finally looked at her. But you did. I know. More silence then, slowly. Her mother reached out and touched the scarf, folded on Emily's lap. I made that for you, she whispered. Took me over a week. I wanted to surprise you. Emily let out a broken laugh through her tears. It's beautiful. Like everything you make. Her mother's lips quivered slightly. I should have said something when you showed up. Something kind, something real. But instead I was cold. And I don't know how to take that moment back. You don't, her mother said, but you can make sure it never happens again. I want you in our lives. Not just on holidays. Every day, Emily said. The kids asked for you this morning. They missed you. Her mother finally smiled, a tired, broken, healing kind of smile. I missed them too. Come home with me, Emily said. Please. Later that evening, Emily's children squealed with joy when their grandma stepped out of the car. Lily ran and hugged her knees. Josh shouted, I knew you'd come. The sun was just beginning to set, painting the sky with the softest orange and gold. Julia stepped onto the porch and gave a small, knowing nod to Emily's mother. No words were needed. They lit sparklers again that night. Just the family this time. No loud guests, no distractions, just laughter, the smell of summer air, and the kind of warmth you can't buy in fireworks or perfect decorations. Emily and her mother sat on the porch steps, watching the kids run in the yard. I'm sorry, it took me this long, Emily said. Her mother leaned her head against her daughter's shoulder. You let me back in, she whispered. That's what matters now. And for the first time in years, Emily truly understood what the 4th of July was really about. Not just freedom, but family. The kind you fight for, the kind you forgive. The kind you come back to no matter how far you've wandered.